Hello, everyone. It's Joe Hayek. I'm here today with a RuPaul's review. RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 4 finale review. So I missed last week. I just, I have been not feeling this season, and so that's why I haven't really been reviewing every single week. But I feel like this final episode was the perfect ending to a terrible season. And so let's talk about it, and then we'll kind of go over some more details towards the end, and maybe preview a little bit of season 11. So our final four, not my final four, but RuPaul's final four, I guess. We have Monet Exchange, we have Naomi Smalls, we have Monique Hart, and we have Trinity the Tuck. And last week, Latrice was voted out correctly so. She should have been gone a long time ago. Her being brought back onto the show was a mistake. But, alas, she is gone. We have our final four. I kind of predicted toward the beginning of the season, my order to go out would have been Jasmine Masters, Pheromone, Gia Gunn, Latrice, and then I said Monet, Monique, and our final four would have been Manila, Trinity, Naomi, and Valentina. So Monet, Monique, still in. Naomi and Trinity were my original top four. They are also still in. Naomi's little stunt that she did with Manila made me not want her to be winning this season. So that being said, I was definitely rooting hardcore against her. I was in favor of Monique winning. She's narrated the entire season. She has definitely upped her game. Compare her from season 10 to now. I mean, in just a short turnaround, she's done phenomenally. And I remember what she said at the beginning of the season. The only difference is she didn't have money back then. She has money now, and she is showing it. That last Kitty Cat Couture basically was just like unbelievable. So I'm rooting for her. Trinity deserves the win. And the reason why I kind of give that look is because, like I said, she blocked me on Instagram, so I'm a little salty about that. But at the same time, too, facts are facts. She deserves the win. Monet Exchange. People commenting all over the world, she deserves this crown, blah, blah, blah. Her drag has not been up to par with the rest of the queens, period. And the fact that she's tied, or maybe now she was tied for second most wins with Monique, doesn't make any sense. Her looks that she was praised for were not great. And I still stand by the fact that that week that Manila was in the bottom, I thought Monet should have been in the bottom, as well as several of her other winning days. She has had a lot of questionable drag. She seems like a fun person. She seems like like she's gonna do big things, but at the same time too, her drag was not great this season. So we have a very kind of awkward final four. But alas, here we are. So the goal of this Final Four is basically they're going to be doing a lip sync and lyrics to RuPaul's new song, Super Queen. The twist is we see the previous All Stars winners, Chad Michaels, Alaska, and Trixie Mattel, aka should have been Shangela. They appear on the show. And so I can't stop smiling because this show, it was... This finale got ruined, and it got even more ruined, and we'll go into that. But so they, the gaggery was that these last three winning queens were going to actually decide who won this season, and then they were just kidding. They're like, RuPaul's going to decide, and I was like, okay, well that's good. Of all the All Stars, I've only seen 3. So last year's I thought was great up until the end. The final episode was horrible. The fact that the previous queens didn't vote at all for Shangela, voted Trixie and Kennedy in the top 2. I was dumbstruck. Should have been BB and should have been Shangela in the top 2. And that's, only because Bendela Creme voted herself out. If Bendela was there, it should have been Shangela versus Bendela, and that would have been an amazing final 2. Would have been, unbelievable and very memorable. But we have Trixie versus Kennedy in the past, and we'll get to that at the end as well. But now, Rue is taking it into her own hands because she doesn't want things to get messed up. So she's going to be making that decision. So we go into the Super Queen lip sync and choreography and all that. And honestly, it was okay. Monet comes out first. She does her thing. She's doing well. again, her drag, nothing special, but her dancing was good. Monique comes out doing her typical thing. She's got the big hair. She's got the floofy arms. I liked her performance. I thought she did well. Naomi, she came out there. I'm biased against her, but she had her legs, and that's pretty much all she was. And Trinity, I thought did very well. She had like this elegant drag outfit on. She kind of was wearing a crown already. She was a cape and very silvery. I liked her performance, probably the best, but again, they all did pretty well. And so then they come out with their runway looks, and all of them this time around, all of them look great. Monique's of all four of them, I thought looked a little bit under par, and I was thinking to myself, like, of all the times to not look phenomenal, Monique chose the wrong time to do that. And they kind of commented in the critiques where even to that point her outfit wasn't fitting properly. It just kind of was awkward. It wasn't on the right way essentially. Monet's loved the outfit, the fronds, and her beautiful hair. Naomi, as much as I'm a mild hater, her outfit was absolutely gorgeous. It was stunning. I remember seeing that. I was like, oh my god, please don't win now because of this outfit, because that outfit was win worthy. Trinity came out. I thought it was a phenomenal outfit as well, and then she like took off her bras or teacups where her boobs were, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Of the top four looks, I think Naomi's was probably the best, if not Naomi's, Trinity's. But Monet's was really good too. So clearly Monique's was lacking of the four. They kind of asked the queens, why do you want to be like, why would you want to be the winner? Monet has a touching story, basically like, there's going to be a kid out there that's probably sneaking away into his room when his mom's not home or something, and watching Drag Race and seeing himself in Monet. Monique, very touching, like how she's worked her way up to this point, and how she's basically, like she has gone through a lot, and she's here now, and she's kind of fighting for what's hers. Naomi, very underwhelming speech, saying like, I just want to be recognized as the best by the best, and it'd be an honor. And Naomi's so full of herself, so into herself. I just I'm really not into her at all. She when the season started, I was like, okay, this Naomi person, she seems pretty cool. Like, she seems fierce. She seems like she's gonna be someone like fierce in this competition. She's fierce, but she's also kind of douchey, and I don't claim to know her at all. But what I see is what I see, and what I saw was not flattering. It wasn't cute. And then Trinity's final talk, what I thought was really touching as well. Kind of how she's been in the business for 15 years. She doesn't feel entitled to this, and I thought that was a little jab at Latrice. But she feels like she's earned the title, and she feels like she's done her best basically to get to where she is at this point. And she's absolutely right. I mean, she brought it every single week. She was in the bottom. They keep saying she's in the bottom, but like, she was in the bottom when there was four people in the bottom. Like, that was the only time. And so her record this season, other than Manila's, her record this season of the final four, she definitely should have been the winner. So RuPaul deliberates, and basically, is getting the rest of. He has Todrick, Michelle, Ross, and Carson with him. And Carson basically made a comment that just cracked me up. He was like, "I'm a Scorpio, and I'm still a little bit annoyed that Naomi kicked off Manila." And I was like, "Good. I feel like Naomi is not going to be in the top two." They really talked. They talked okay about Monique, but they talked kind of poorly in general. So I was like, "Oh man, it's going to probably be Monet and Trinity in the top two," and that's ended up what they decided to pick. And so Monet and Trinity are lip syncing for the crown. And what happened? I was nervous because, like, well, Trinity's got this in the bag. There's no, I mean, again, everyone, Monet fans out there are all saying Monet deserves it. Monet was tied for first and blah blah blah. But honestly, there's no competition in this season. If you look at Monet's drag this season versus Trinity's drag this season, there's no competition. Trinity's was by far the best. And so that being said, you have those top two. Monet though is turning out the lip sync. She's slaying. She's doing the splits. She did a pussycat reveal to like where she like pulled off her first pussycat wig to reveal the same pussycat wig underneath it. She was hilarious. It was really mesmerizing to watch. And Trinity tried a cartwheel that she actually messed up. And as soon as I saw that cartwheel, I was like, oh my god, like Trinity has done so well this entire season, and she loses in the lip sync. On top of that, too, I was wondering how RuPaul was going to pick because if he picks Trinity when there's three other black contestants and then Trinity, I mean, she does. In my opinion, she does deserve it. But at the same time, too, now you're gonna have four white winners. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I was interested for once again in this season. I was so relieved Naomi was gone. I was actually really interested to see who the winner was going to be at this point. So RuPaul is like, all right, I've made my decision, and then clearly dubs over like what his decision is going to be. So he says, "You're both winners, and you both win $100,000." And Trinity's. So I watched the reaction video of Monet and Trinity, and Trinity's face said it all. It was just like like she was so confused and almost like not. You could tell she wasn't too happy about it. And so when I heard that, and they showed Monet, like they gave Monet a scepter, and then they gave like Trinity a scepter, and it was clearly they were not in the same shot. And Monet's walking down the runway. She says her thing, like she's like, "Long live the sponge," and then Trinity says like, $100,000 going to pay for a lot of Botox. You could tell that the finale was filmed multiple different ways, and I heard that in the past, and so I knew that was quote unquote true. But I still even to this day I was like, that's just such a weird way of doing it. Like you're gonna avoid filming the actual finale just to avoid spoilers, so you just film multiple different versions of it. It just seems like it takes a long time. But this was so evident that they did that. They did a poor job of editing. Like they had both winners walk down by themselves. They weren't seen together with the crown and the scepter. They only brought out one crown and one scepter anyways. So it was very obviously like edited just poorly. And so we're sitting here and we were on the edge of our seats to see who was going to win. I thought, oh my god, Monet won it in the lip sync. Trinity should have won it though from the whole season. What are we going to do? And RuPaul cops out by picking both. Both? There's two winners? Two. So we have four All-Stars, like four seasons of All-Stars, and five winners now. Let me just I'm going to be in my feelings a little bit. Imagine a world where you have two All-Stars winners on season 4 and Manila is not one of them. You had an All-Star season where there were teams and you didn't pick two winners. And I saw this conspiracy theory or whatever that RuPaul wanted Latrice and Manila to be in the top 4 so she could have picked both of them, because if you're going to give $200,000, you had that in the budget to begin with. And so they wanted Latrice and Manila as Latrilla to win. But that's debunked because RuPaul stupidly put in Latrice and Manila in the bottom 2 together, and that's how Manila got eliminated by Naomi. So that doesn't make any sense. So were they really planning two winners all along, or did RuPaul just he filmed the multiple different edits of the wins and then decided, Trinity definitely should win, but am I going to be chewed out for still avoiding a black winner? But then if I pick Monet, Trinity definitely should have won, so that's not going to be good either. So he just didn't pick. I don't. No. Let's go back to All Stars 3. I first of all, Shangela. If we're gonna have two winners, Shangela should have been one of them last year too. We didn't pick two winners last year, but let's just go back and remember who the final two were last year. We ended up having Kennedy Davenport and Trixie Mattel. Do you guys remember the lip sync? Kennedy destroyed Trixie. Kennedy annihilated Trixie. Trixie didn't do anything during the lip sync. Kennedy was doing flips. She was doing acrobatics. She was really into the character. She was like, like lip syncing, this was her win. But RuPaul didn't even care last year. She said Trixie, Kennedy. There's no way Kennedy is gonna win that one. So this year, instead of picking Trinity, or did I said Trixie. Anyway, she picked Trixie over Kennedy. You get the idea. This year, instead of doing the same thing for Trinity, saying, well, yeah, I know Monet killed the lip sync, but look at the season, Trinity definitely won. She just was like, nah, we're going to pick both. Has anyone checked on Kennedy? Is Kennedy okay? Like, I know people are saying, has anyone checked on Shangela? But, I mean, to be fair, Kennedy was in the same exact position as Monet was last year. Ugh. What an awful ending to an awful season. Oh, this was such a disappointing season. I thought All Stars 3 was bad. I mean, like, the whole season up until the finale was amazing. Was fantastic. Like, that really was riveting. But the final left me with such a sour taste in my mouth. I was so disgusted with the result last year that I was like, ooh, I don't really want to. Shangela's my winner. Whatever, they did poorly. That was a horrible decision. But watch season 10. Season 10, I was happy with. It was the only thing I had a problem with was Cameron going to the top 4 over Ms. Cracker. But like, you can't have everything your way. So if RuPaul's going to pick Cameron over Ms. Cracker, oh well, that's fine, I guess. But that was an incorrect choice. But at the same time, too, the ultimate winner was Aquaria, and she won. Period. This year, the winner was Manila, and not only did we have two winners, and she wasn't even in there, she wasn't the top 4, and she quote unquote wasn't the top 5 because Latrice came back. She was the 6th? In a season where 20% of the queens win, Manila isn't even... She's four positions away from that? Whew. I don't know. Honestly, though, I thought it was an interesting ending. It was a terrible ending to a terrible season. It was the perfect ending for such a season. When you have two winners, you really don't have a winner. You have two winners, and that's just not how it works. The nice thing is it was a snub to Naomi because you're in the top 4, and we have two winners, but you're not one of them. The sad thing is, honestly, Monique should have been in there over Monet, and Monique should have been a winner. Monique has stepped up her drag so significantly that I don't know. Anyways, I was kind of bummed by the whole thing. The whole thing was kind of disappointing. Now we have two winners, and here we are. All Stars 5 rules maybe going to be suspended, and they just won't have a winner to make up for this year. I don't know, but man, what a disappointment. So we'll see what happens. I am excited for season 11. I am interested to see how that season goes because Nina West, who is the first drag queen that I've seen perform, I'm from Ohio, and I basically kind of got into the drag scene during medical school when I was in at Ohio State in Columbus, and so Nina West was my first drag queen that I saw perform, and so she's gonna be on season 11. She is such a sweetheart. Um, I'm really proud of the fact that she has worked so hard to get there. I saw one of her tweets. She auditioned for season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 11. And I asked her, I was like, what do you got against season 8? As a joke. But she has auditioned so much, and she finally made it. And I really hope she does go far. Although I feel like they're snubbing her a little bit from like the commercials, you know what I mean? Like she's there for like a second, and you have like what Evie Oddly or whatever, like kicking down a lipstick, and you have all these other people like Plastique kind of doing some things. So other people are getting a little bit more airtime, but I hope that doesn't indicate anything with regards to her. I hope that she goes far in the season. The queens of season 11, I guess I'm starting to realize maybe the regular seasons are better. Um, I was happy with Sasha winning season 9. I was happy with Aquaria winning season 10. I wanted Miss Cracker to win, but at the same time too, Aquaria just dominated that season. There's nothing to say about that. But so I'm excited for season 11. I'm excited for the shenanigans to be done. None of this BS nonsense. And so I will be interested to see all the new queens, see what they bring to the table, and see who our next superstar is. But All Stars is just it's just been disappointing the last 2 seasons. The only 2 seasons that I've seen. So I'm almost tempted to go rewatch season or All Star season 1 and 2 to see like maybe those were better. But then I hear Latrice herself said season 1 didn't count. So I really like Alaska. I don't know much about Chad Michaels, but I really like Alaska. So maybe that would have been a good season for me to watch. But then people are saying who I forget who on that season got robbed, but Katya, or maybe was it Katya? Anyways, so here we are with our results, and that's what we got. I don't make the rules. I just review them, I guess. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on what just went down yesterday. I'm looking at all the tweets online, and another thing too. Hold on, before we go, I'm gonna finish my tirade with Naomi. To this point, it is now I think 9 p.m. on Saturday. To this point, I have yet to see Naomi congratulate the winners, by the way. And she made something about herself where she was like, I'm proud that I have not had to cry in front of a mirror holding a trophy, meaning she's never been kicked off the show. She just lost in the finals or in the final 4 or final 3. And I don't know anything about Naomi Smalls except for what I see, but from what I see, she just does not strike me as someone that is just a nice person. She doesn't strike me as someone who is humble. She doesn't strike me as someone anything like that. And for her to tweet out something like that and then not to congratulate the winners, that is incredibly rude and incredibly disrespectful. So I will say, another thing too, getting on my soapbox, I congratulate excuse me, congratulations to Monet and congratulations to Trinity. I know I didn't say that in the video after I just went on that rant about Naomi. I just think it is an unfortunate situation as to, I feel like there should be one and they should be happy with the one. And they should be proud of themselves. Now you have 2 that are like, well, did I just not do good enough to win by myself? What's going on? I think it cheapens the win a little bit, but regardless, congratulations to both of them. The other thing too, though, that's really been driving me crazy is I'm seeing the queens on Twitter tweet out and saying, hey, all this hate that's going out there, like we're better than that, and like yada yada yada, and basically demeaning us and criticizing the fans for feeling however they want to feel and for saying whatever they want to say. Now I get if you're sending threats, that's unacceptable. But if you're sending Naomi, for example, something like, Team Manila, or I like you shouldn't be in the top 4 or something like that. You know what? while I don't think that's necessarily effective by any means, you have all the right to do that. She made a douchey call by taking out Manila, and you're in a place of public position, so you are I mean, you're going to be facing backlash for the decisions you make. You should understand that. So from hearing all these queens saying, "I want to stop seeing the hate," and blah blah blah. I saw Bob the drag queen, like one of the magazines or something, said Manila may not have won the crown, but she's still a winner and XYZ. And Bob the drag queen commented like, "Oh, I hate seeing this. The true winner is the one with the crown." I'm tired of all that nonsense. Like, people are allowed to feel how they want to feel, including all these people commenting and including all these people saying stop spreading the hate and blah blah blah. But at the same time too, don't chastise your fan base. Don't chastise people who are not doing that, or for the few that are sending all these negative nasty things. We as fans are not interested in seeing more negativity from our favorite drag queens when we're not doing anything, or even if we are doing something. What are you saying that to just a blanket statement like that going to do? It's not going to change anything, and we're just going to add to the negativity and annoyance that we're seeing on social media. And on top of that, to all the drag queens, if you really want the negativity to stop, and I'm talking to Trinity right now, actually of all of them, because you see all of her tweets and you see the people that she responds to. If you want the negativity to stop, then stop giving it attention. It's very easy. This is how Donald Trump came into office. We see all these negative things about him, and we say, "Oh my God, look at what he did here, and look at what he did there," and he gets all this face time. Stop giving it attention. If you don't, and now I'm chastising my 20 viewers that I have. I'm not talking to you specifically, but I hope you get my point of view. When you see Aquaria posting all this stuff, or Bob the drag queen, or yada yada yada, saying like stop the hate. Manila said it best. She's like, well, I've been called to tell people to stop hating on Naomi, but they know better than that. Yet, and that was a perfect response. Manila knows her fans know better than that. And the people who are sending the hate, she's not going to get through to them anyways. What is she going to do? Like, if they're angry, they're angry, period. So Manila's not going to chastise, even though she did do a video. I don't know. She kind of seemed like she was either tired or a little bit. Maybe she was drinking that night. But she did a live video late at night where she's like, "Shame on all of you for sending all this hate and blah blah blah. Like, cut it out." Why? Who are you talking to? Just leave it alone. Just ignore it. If there's a legitimate threat, report it to the police and let them deal with it. Period. I don't know. If you want, and I was talking to Trinity earlier, if you want people to stop the negativity, stop giving it attention, stop responding to it, and actually try responding to the true fans that comment all the love and the support and all that on your page. If you do that, people will give you more of that attention. And I'm talking honestly from a personal perspective. For Trinity, let's put it this way: she doesn't, like, whenever I post on her stuff like, "Oh my God, you're amazing," blah blah blah, no likes, no comments, nothing. And she doesn't need to. But then when I comment something snarky as like a joke or like a dry sense of humor type thing, gets a response. Well, what do you think you're doing to us by acting that way? You see? So that's why. Not that I have a huge following by any means on any social media platform, but when people comment positively, I do my best to try to respond to those people. When people comment negatively, I try to not give them the time of day, or, maybe comment something snarky in response. I'm allowed to do that too. But it's funny to me to see all that and to see how these drag queens are responding to all of this. It's really disappointing in very many regards. So this was a little bit more than just a review on the show. It was a review on the season, or it's a review on the reactions to it. Ultimately just a little bit turned off about it, but I will be back February 28th for season 11. And maybe I'll try reviewing those as well, and I hope Nina goes far. If I come back, if Nina goes off the first episode, then I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. I'll still watch it, but I'm going to be severely disappointed in that too. So we'll see how things go. But here's to RuPaul getting it together, getting season 11 underway, and getting that off to a great start. And then hopefully the next All Stars, they change things up to make this foolishness stop. That's all I care about. Let the best one win. The shenanigans are keeping them to a minimum, and we move on from there. All right. Well, this has been a RuPaul review with yours truly, Joe. A review with a Joe, I guess. And we'll see when I come back on next time. But until then, feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Let me know, despite the results, are you happy with the results? Are you still team, whoever has been off, team Manila, team Latrice, team Gia, team whoever? Are you happy with Monet winning? Are you happy with Trinity winning? Are you pleased with both of them going on to win, or would you have rather seen one? What are your thoughts on it? Are you happy with how this turmoil of just social media angst has been going on? How would you respond to it? I'm open. I'm all ears. So, all right. Well, until next time. Take care.